Welcome everyone to this very interesting conversation with a dear friend and a counselor colleague based out of Calcutta, Nirmal Agarwal. We go back a very long way. So welcome Nirmal.
Hi, Arjun. Good to be here. And I'm so glad you gave an opportunity to be talking to you on a different forum, apart from the times we meet.
Absolutely. Our journeys have sort of overlapped in many different situations over the
Right.
last, 25 years, I think. And you were a
True,
senior.
true.
You were a senior in school,
Yes.
and you were one of those who was always looked up to, having made it to a premier
I,
US
I hope
colleges.
so. I don't
So
know.
that's really good. So I think I was just thinking of curating this conversation for everyone. There's two
Mhm.
parts to it. One is your journey, and
Yeah.
then how you stumbled upon the idea of finally becoming an independent counselor, having worked
Right.
and
Hmm.
started other education ventures and
Yes.
nonprofits. And the
Hmm.
second part would be really what the state of the world is today and how our counseling community has actually come in together very well and independently, individually, as well as supporting our work collaboratively
Yeah.
through online forums has been very, highly exciting. And the last
True.
part is, of course, I definitely want the world to know about our upcoming college fair, which
Ah,
has over 25 colleges already signed up, and
wow.
it's going to
That's
be
amazing.
interesting. Mostly the US and Indian
Yeah.
schools, and
Uh-huh.
it's something we look forward to. Okay, so over to you, Nirmal. Tell us a little bit about your early years after graduating from school in Calcutta, and then what happened.
Right. So I was actually about to mention that we went to school together, so we go back a long way. But it's been an interesting journey, Arjun. And just like everything we tell our students, that it's not always a bed of roses, and you have to face the successes and the failures together. So I did graduate from Stanford, and I had some job offers back in the US when I was there. But you know how emotions work in Indian families, and like this traditional Marwari Kolkata boy, I was supposed to come back and join my dad in his business. So I did that, very obediently I came back. But, within a couple of years, I realized that was not really my cup of tea. It didn't really need any intellectual prowess or anything that I had to put on my thinking cap about. It was just something running on auto mode. So, you've heard the term disguised unemployment in economics when we were in school. So it was sort of disguised unemployment back again, even in my own household, where two of us were doing the work of half a person. So within a couple of years, I said I want to do something else, and started off with another education venture, or the first education venture in the family, because that was something very close to my heart. So we took a franchise for a UK-based college and started their fashion and management programs in India. So that was the beginning of the journey for me. And yeah, I've seen ups and downs, started many things as we have sort of, I think, collaborated in some ways, or we've been on the same forums in various programs.
Yeah.
And I know you have shared that sort of a journey as well, where you've seen ups and downs, where you've had successes in some ventures and failures in others, but it's been a learning process. So I'm happy for everything that I've got till now. I will not want it to change anything in my life, because I think those are the learnings that are making me who I am currently.
Great. So I think you've also found your calling in the last decade or more as an
Yes,
independent
yes.
counselor with a thriving practice, as well as very sort of assured and confident students who I also meet sometimes when I travel to
Yes,
universities, and
yes, yeah,
kids who
yeah.
are from
Hmm.
Calcutta, and I find
Hmm.
out and they say, hey, my mentor was Nirmal and his team and everyone put together.
Yeah,
So it's amazing to see how that's shaped up for you. What do you think
right.
was uh, the sort of impetus to become
Uh-huh.
an independent counselor, and
Right.
where do you see your practice growing in the near future?
Okay. I think I hit upon it sort of by providence,
Mm.
because ever since I got back from Stanford, I was helping students pro bono, and every year there would be 4 to 5 students who would be working with me. Just can you help me with this? Can you help me with? And just as a hobby, just because I loved working with younger students. And when I was young, also they were young, but now I'm working with younger students. So it just over the next few years, people started telling me that you're really good at it. Why don't you try to look at it professionally? And I think it was in 2012 or 13 when I finally said, yes, I think I'm ready. I want to really inculcate the skills and take up professional courses and learn a lot more. Because when I was doing it as a hobby, I was not fully invested in it. I was just doing it for the love of it. And I was not really teaching myself. I was not following industry trends. I was not looking into colleges and seeing how they fit into different people's objectives or their fitment, etc. So it was just helping students with essays, etc. But then I said, no, I want to do it properly and professionally. I started taking a few courses, meeting people, talking to university officers, learning a lot more. And each year after that has been a journey of learning. You know, there's no end to learning. I always tell my students and I tell other counselors as well that it's a lifelong learning. And every day I learn something new. And it's been a very rewarding experience because this is, I think, something I've always wanted to do, which is why I say I hit upon it with, it was some providence that brought me here, because I love helping people, I love talking to people, I love mentoring young people, and it keeps me young as well. And moving forward, we see Cognix growing as a practice with other team members. We already have a lot of people, so it's not just me handling every case one to one. A lot of us are there together and we bring different perspectives into the equation. It's not just that one perspective goes into the guidance process for each student. And it's not just college applications anymore. It's how you develop a student overall. How do you start working with the student from the early years, trying to help them make the right choices, trying to help them push them towards the right activities that um, that sort of mirror their passions, that sort of speak to the person they are. How do you help them bring out their voice through their writings? You know, it doesn't have to be college essays. It could be any writing that they start doing at an early age. So how does that voice sound? You know, who are they as a person? So this whole journey is so rewarding, and we see ourselves moving in that direction. To be honest, you know, not just college applications, but overall mentoring for students, and it could be young students in school or in college.
Wonderful. And I've seen that, the only counselor, or not one of the few respected counselors I know who has the humility and also very interesting humor because we've spent so much time together. So I guess, when we go out to conferences and meet
Yeah.
college representatives, and we've done that together several times,
Mhm.
uh, and now the world has suddenly woken up to a new reality that universities aren't traveling. We cannot meet our students. Our offices are kind of shut. But we've also adapted quickly. All of us been
Yes.
talking about how the workload has increased.
Mhm.
Now, in this scenario, how do you see, in general, recruitment efforts of universities panning out? And why do you think collaboration with schools, independent counselors, and universities is becoming even more
Mhm.
important?
Well, I think it was always important, and I like the fact that you said even more important. And we are moving towards a collaborative world, aren't we? I mean, we've seen autocracies come and go. We've seen democracies, but everything, the whole workplace now is collaborative, is cooperacy. More than autocracy or democracy is cooperacy, where you work together. You cannot be an ostrich putting your head in the sand and say, I can't see the world around me and I'm safe. It's got to be people helping each other. But yes, that trust factor has to come in. I know there's various stakeholders in the process. Obviously, there's universities, there's school counselors, there's independent counselors, there's the parents, and there's others who are advising students from all sorts of places, you know, peers and friends and an uncle who's gone to med school somewhere or someone or the other. There's always someone you look up to in your house. So, and these are strings that are tugging at a student. So in this process, that's the product that is in the middle. I mean, I don't want to call it a product, but it's that person in the middle is getting pulled in all directions. So isn't it that's so natural that all of us work together and create that enabling circumstances for that student to flourish? And all of us have the same goal, don't we? So why are we going to say that no, I have my ego and I can't collaborate with anyone's, or that I don't like that person, so I don't want to work with that person? As long as the student in the equation is getting some service which is going to be beneficial, so why not work together and provide that? And in this virtual world, and I know we were talking about it a couple of days ago, that's in this virtual world, there is so much more collaboration that is possible. Just the fact that two of us in two different cities are right now talking and discussing these ideas would not have been possible unless one of us was traveling. I mean, it was possible, the technology was there, but we had not adapted to it. So this whole situation is now just so present. It's so clear and present right now. It's not in the future, that we do have to change and move with the times.
Very well said. I think that urgency, which was never there in terms
Yeah.
of figuring things out together with even folks you never thought could be
Mhm.
collaborators, is now very present, like you
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. And also this whole virtual fairs industry, which has come up, and now
Mhm.
actually
Yeah.
we've launched
Yeah.
one. And the idea about our college fair was really very simple. We had 75 colleges visit our 75 odd colleges visit our office last year. And this year, when we looked at our calendar and compared it with last year, there was no one visiting.
Yeah.
So we said, okay, let's find a technology partner and create a little space for universities to present. But this idea became bigger, and with support of counselors like yourself and others, it's become a fairly big sort of movement or initiative. We are expecting over 700 students to participate. And in 4 days, we have 300 students sign up.
Yeah.
And
Right.
there's a lot of efforts, a lot of reach out to high schools, which are fairly welcoming. And of course, there is a lot more to do in terms of building credibility about this platform. Right. So we're working on that with partners like you. It's interesting that, you touched upon collaboration, but also the future of our industry depends on the knowledge we share with younger counselors who are just starting out. A lot of it is, always left in our head. There's obviously the marquee counselor back in Bombay. We don't know really, what is the succession plan, or say someone like who's so erudite like him, to sort of share things. And so my effort has always been to collaborate, invite people when I know admissions officers are visiting and so forth. What do you think we should do collectively to support younger upstart counselors in this industry, independent or even schools?
Right. Thanks for asking that, Arjun. I think I'm always available, and I know you are too. And we get so many calls from people who are just starting out or who are looking for training programs that, okay, Nirmal, I want to be a counselor. I want to work in the school space. I want to work in the independent space. What can I do? How can I inculcate the skills? And I know you and me, and there are so many other counselors in the country who are senior, who are available to help them. And it's not competition. If there are more people coming in, the pie gets bigger. It's not that the pie is the same or the slice gets smaller for you. The pie gets bigger when more and more people are out there and promoting proper education, promoting the use of counseling. I think parents are waking up to the fact that they need good help. They need people to support them making those right choices, because they are not the experts. They might be experts in their industry. They're not experts in education or career counseling or college counseling. Parents are waking up to that fact, and you and me and a few other counselors can't handle everyone. So as the pie gets bigger, our slices will not get smaller with more people coming in, but the pie will keep increasing. So I would advise, yes, younger counselors should definitely reach out to maybe experienced counselors, and I would like to put myself and you both in that place, because we've been there for a number of years. If not our expertise, at least a number of years are there. And yes, collaborate with us, talk to us. If you have questions on how do you handle a particular student, reach out. I know I'm right now working with 5 counselors like this who are calling me once a week at least to say, okay, I've got this student, what can I do over here? And I know they're in Kolkata, they're going to maybe take away my students, but I don't look at it that way. I look at it as a process of collaborating with them and working together for the future. So I'm sure there'll be others, and this whole body of work cannot die with us. Things move on, right? And we've also learned from other people. So why not other people learn from us?
It was so much fun catching up, Nirmal, and look forward to seeing you at the fair.
I will be there, definitely. I'm looking forward to it. And as I like to say, one thing that I keep hearing now is pivot or perish. And I love the fact that you've been able to pivot so quickly and offer this virtual space for universities and school students to maybe meet each other virtually and move forward. So we don't want to perish in this industry. We want to pivot and move on. So thanks for bringing this together, Arjun. I think it's been a pleasure just chatting, and let's catch up soon once again, maybe virtually or maybe physically, who knows.
Thanks, Nirmal. Bye.